Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 21 of the Hilltop Sports Report podcast. My name is Jumpin' Jack Carlson, your host, and I've got two very special guests in the Academic Technology studio this afternoon. We're previewing baseball on the Hilltop. It's the best time of year in most people's opinion. I love baseball season. All right, so without further ado, let's hit the music and start the show.
Let's go Rams! Let's go Rams!
And we welcome you into the Academic Technology studio, where, as I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, I'm joined by two very special guests. Head coach of the baseball program entering his second year with the Rams, Robbie Dombrowski, joins me, along with junior captain, left fielder, Vince Zipperer. Thank you both for joining me this afternoon.
Thanks for having us, Jack. It's going to be a blast. And you're unbelievable on the call, Jack. We got Ram fans all over the country that can't wait to hear you announce a victory starting on Saturday.
That's fantastic. I mean, last year was so much fun, first year with the Rams, and we had a fair share of memorable games. And you mentioned it, Coach. The Rams open up the regular season at home now. That was originally going to be in Topeka, Kansas. The series got moved now to Mount Vernon, Iowa. Going back to last May, where there was a crazy doubleheader between the Central Dutch and the Cornell Rams, specifically in Game 2. It was supposed to be 14 innings total. And then in that second game, it just kept going and going and going, ended up going 15 innings. So let's go back to that game, revisit it for a little bit. Of course, it was a painful loss for the Rams, but Coach, we'll start with you. What was that game like to manage?
It was miserable to manage, Jack. I'm just kidding. It was the last week of the season. Each of us, I know, we're still in conference contention with our weekend series upcoming. And before the game, we made the mistake as coaches of agreeing on 7-inning games so that we could save some pitching for the weekend. And I know it was finals week for both teams, and then we just got into a dogfight. It was a blast. It's always fun with our guys. Yeah, it was a late night, and it's a good thing that you got paid by the hour that day because we sure made you earn it.
That's very true. So, Vince, you entered the game in the late stages, the 8th or 9th inning, which was actually extra innings at that point. So what was that game like for you to watch for the first part and then be a part of the crazy extra innings situation?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Honestly, I didn't expect to play. I thought we'd steamroll them the second game just like we did game one. And then I got in, and as it kept getting later, I was playing left field like I usually do, and I could hear their bullpen. I was like, just end the game, man. We just want to go home, get some sleep, take our finals. And I think both teams just wanted to get it over with, and unfortunately, we couldn't get the job done.
Well, it was certainly a memorable game, and obviously we'll have some carryovers of those players. Some of them who performed in the game will play this year. So let's get a scout on Central. That's going to start the season for the Rams this year. So, Coach, starting with you, what are the Dutch going to present that's an issue for the Rams, and what are some things that perhaps you can exploit?
Well, opening weekend is really about us and what we do. You know, they've got the luxury of already having played a weekend, but, you know, they've got some good top-of-the-line pitching, and they've got some of their better hitters returning. And they play in a really good league, you know, so you could look at their record and be easily misguided by their talent level because they just play in a really good conference. So it's going to be a really good matchup for us, and we're going to learn a lot about ourselves, which is really what opening weekend is all about, getting a number of guys into the game. And, you know, we think we have about 14, 15 hitters and a bundle of 15 or so pitchers, but you never really know until the bullets are flying, as they say. So this opening weekend and our spring trip will be about figuring out who does it when the lights are shining and when Jack's on the call.
That's very true. So, Vince, talk about the excitement of this weekend upcoming. There's nothing like starting the season, is there?
100%. I mean, I'm so excited. I know the guys are fired up. It just feels like a different energy than last year. We want a lot more. We're hungry, and I think some of the transfers stepped up and brought energy to our team that I think we're just going to look a little different, and I think the fans and yourself are going to see that on the field.
That's fantastic. So, Coach, let's break down the roster a little bit, starting with the outfield. Obviously, Vince going to be manning left field for the Rams. Talk about what you're looking for in that outfield with Seth Beals returning in center, Darren Mankey in right. What are you looking for in that outfield core?
Well, it's obviously our strongest position. I mean, to return 3 starters that all hit over 300 last year is a blessing. But those are some of the most athletic outfielders you'd find at any level. So anytime the ball is hit in the air, I'm telling you, Jack, I don't even watch it, man. I know it's going to be caught. All 3 of those guys are capable of playing center field as far as speed and athleticism. And obviously, Beals is special out there. I think he's got to be the best defensive center fielder in the country. I mean, he makes plays on a daily basis that just make your jaw drop. And so we have the luxury of having center field athleticism in left and in right with Mankey and Zip. So it's obviously a strength of our team. And, that on the offensive side of things, those three brought it. We added a big-time transfer. Sean Alvarez, his name, he's going to play some first base for us. Had double-digit home runs at his junior college, so he's going to bring some thump to our lineup. Wherever he's playing, DH, first base, shoot, he's going to be in there. And it's going to be a fun team. And I think Zip, Beals, and Mankey as well, they've just put some good weight on. They're a lot stronger, bigger, faster, stronger. And the games last year where we would out-hit teams and lose, a lot of that was due to a lack of strength and a lack of physical development. So I think this year, top to bottom, you're going to see a more physical lineup, and it's a testament to the work that these guys have put in this offseason. It's been a huge point of emphasis because it's frustrating to out-hit your opponent, 12-7 and lose because you couldn't hit a double. And that problem has been addressed, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's really a testament to these guys, and particularly our leadership, just holding guys accountable to get after it in that room.
And you just mentioned the leadership. Perfect segue to you, Vince, one of three captains on this team. Talk about what that role means to you and what sort of example you want to set for the guys this year.
I really try to lead by example. I want the guys to come to me. I'm not above them 100%. I want my guys to see me as an equal to them. If they have questions or something they want to bring up to me, 100% I'll be there for them. But I just want to work alongside with them, give everything they've got and I've got to the game, and just be there. It's all about bringing energy and working hard at practice, working hard in the weight room, and just holding everyone accountable to a standard we have for our program.
That's great. And so from the outfield now to the infield, you mentioned a moment ago, Sean Alvarez is going to be in the picture at first base. Cale Rose figures to get the majority of the starts at second. Esteban Perez transferring in at short, and then third base, either Ryan Scala or Cade Parks. So talk about the infield.
Yeah, so graduated 3 seniors that played most of the games on our infield. That's not always an easy thing to do. And the guys, first of all, let's start with Cale Rose, who's an all-conference player. And I really challenged him this offseason to take a little more pride in his defensive side of the game and, doing more of the little things right, because he's an unbelievable talent. And that man has transformed his entire outlook on the game. I used to make fun of him for playing 18 innings without getting his jersey dirty. And truly, he's one of our grittiest players right now. And he's growing into a leader. It'll be his third year as a starter. He's not a little kid anymore. He's not little Cale anymore. And he understands that. And it's only going to make him better. So, and a big factor in that, too, is bringing Esteban, playing right next to him. Esteban is just a high-effort player. His jersey will be eternally dirty. I'd like to apologize up front to the laundry staff here at Cornell College. But the rest of our team has really fed off of that. He brings a little bit of a JUCO mentality and a little bit of grit to the way he approaches the game, and that, I think, is what Zip was touching on, how that has fed and just spread throughout our entire team, embracing that mentality. That's why we don't care that we're picked 6 to win this league, because we got to go out and prove it every single day. And we know that the talent is there, but bringing a few of those guys like Esteban in that bring that day-to-day work ethic, gritty, come on, let's get after it, has really fed off on the rest of our guys. And then at third base, Ryan Scala as a returner has improved so much. He got a number of opportunities last year due to injuries, and I know he would have liked to have taken better advantage of that, but seeing him grow up, he's an upperclassman now. And then adding a freshman in Cade Parks who, he just won us our game over at Mount Mercy, our scrimmage game, hit an opposite field double to give us the lead. He's going to be a really special player. And so it's just cool to see the mindset of the infield evolve as we've gotten after it. And then first base, Alvarez in the mix there. Alec Bolt is a senior for us, another one of our captains that has really challenged himself and worked hard and had a really great spring training period here. And there's a number of guys that can be in the mix there. So just really proud of that group and the pride that they have taken in our infield defense, which, as you know, especially at Ash Park, is a very important part of the game. And we feel like it's a huge advantage to the Rams because a lot of these teams playing on turf, they're not used to playing on this field. And our guys they don't care, man. They stick their beak in there, and they're just a gritty group, and it's fun for our pitchers pitching with those guys behind them.
Rams offense is going to be prolific this year, and one of those newcomers to the program. Let's get to the catching side. Obviously, Colin Konasek, a huge member of the program. When he was here, he's since graduated. Now Vince Zipperer transfers in from Bradley, figures to be the starting catcher. Talk about what you've seen from Vince and the rest of the catching position.
Yeah, so Vinny and C-Dub, Colin Whelan, will be our two primary catchers. And I love Colin Konasek. I'm here to tell you, Jack, he is top 5 favorite players of all time, and not 5. He's probably, I can't give him too much love. Let's say Connie's number 3 of all time. And he caught all 40 games, which is, I mean, you can't say enough about that. But that took a toll on his body for sure. There were times we had to tape him up just to get him through a game. So I think the ability to keep those guys a little more fresh will bring a little more thump to the lineup at those positions. And, you know, we challenge really both of those guys because they're, you know, last year Connie was a defensive catcher. He hit well for us. He was fine for us. But these two guys, you know, they're the opposite. They're offensive-minded catchers. And I really challenged them this fall to attack their defensive work. And they both did it. C-Dub would have gotten a lot more opportunities last year if we trusted him defensively. And he took that with the right attitude and worked his tail off, and we trust him. And same way with Vinny. We knew he could hit and challenged him defensively. You know, we got a young pitching staff. So I told them, I said, I know you guys can hit. I ain't going to play you unless I trust you defensively. I said the other day, I got Colin Konasek on speed dial. I'll call him out of retirement if I have to. But they've just worked so hard at it, and they're going to be great for our young staff. And I think that's something that Vinny brings is a lot of experience. He's been at just about every level of college baseball, played junior college baseball, obviously Division I experience as well. So he's seen it all, kind of like the old grandpa of the team, and has brought a really calming presence to our pitching staff. I feel really good about the young arms that we're going to be leaning on, knowing that they have Vinny and C-Dub to, you know, really guide them through college pitching.
100%. And so, Vince, looking at this offense as a whole, there's so much pop in the lineup this year, so many guys that can contribute offensively. Talk about what that's going to be like for you as one of those hitters in the lineup saying, okay, we've got a full lineup of guys behind me, so it's not so much pressure, is I guess what I'm alluding to. Talk about the mindset that you're going to have this year.
For sure. You get a feeling of being able to play free, right? You trust the guy 1 through 9 to be able to get the job done in the biggest situation. I really believe we've got one of the best lineups in our conference, if not the country, on the D3 level, and it's just a lot of grit and fire, right? We're going to bring in every at-bat, every game, and maybe we're not the most talented or we're picked 6th in the conference or whatever it is, but I promise you we're going to bring grit and fire to those games that we're going to show the Midwest Conference what's up.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to be at the ballpark to watch all these memories this year. And so you mentioned the young pitching staff, Coach, a moment ago. Let's talk about them for a minute. Obviously, senior Jake Shope will be leading the way, but there's a lot of talent, young talent, that has entered the program this year. What's your overview of the pitching staff?
Yeah, it's going to be a little different than last year. We had some show ponies, as we call them, up front, and we rode those. You know, Cole Heinrichsen, you're going to get 7, if not 8, 9 innings. So we didn't have to tap into our depth as much. And so really this year we feel we're way deeper at that position. And I think it's a hodgepodge of, you know, Lucas Bruchet is a freshman for us, Chandler, Arizona. And he's gonna pitch opening day for us. Jake will pitch the second game. And he's just got this bulldog mentality that I know our defense loves playing behind. He doesn't think he's a freshman. He thinks he's a 10-year big league vet. That's how he pitches. And he's just fearless, and I think that's the mentality that I want our entire team to adopt. And so obviously Jake was unbelievable last year, and he truly got robbed of all conference honors. He had one bad start where his stats kind of blew up, but he was nails for us all year last year. And then we've built a number of guys up that we feel could start. So we've got a number of transfers. A kid by the name of Gus Velasquez, Augustine. He prefers Augustine. Junior college kid who is the ace of his junior college. He's going to get the ball game 3 for us. And again, just bringing some veteran leadership, a guy that's seen it all and brought some experience to our pitching staff. Cameron Anderson is a transfer from Monmouth College. He was actually their 3rd starter last year. He's going to kick for the football team as well. Just a versatile addition to our team and a kid that we haven't quite figured out how to hit yet. He comes from kind of a straight over the top arm slot, and his stuff is nasty. Another transfer, Wesley Frame, junior college guy. And then above all of that, we went out and recruited some junior college pitching because we needed it. We graduated like 80% of our innings. So we went out and got it. But the cool thing for me was seeing the development of some of the returners that didn't get as many opportunities as they probably deserved last year. Two guys for sure come to mind, Kai Brevig and Caleb Whaley. Caleb, we were excited about Caleb, but we didn't really know what we had till he pitched against Co. and just shut them down for 6 innings. And Caleb's a dog, man, and we don't know exactly what these roles are going to look like, and that's kind of the beautiful thing about it. But seeing the returners, they knew they probably deserved to pitch more. They also knew we had Cole Heinrichsen and the Montagnas and just talent on the team, and they approached their work this offseason the right way. And so as a result of all of that, we've got so many options that we can turn to. Number of two-way guys that are focusing more on the pitching side of things. Sean Giffen. Grant Morris is going to be unbelievable for us. Carson King, you name it, guys that we've asked to really focus on that side of the ball because we feel our offense is going to be pretty darn good. And they've just, been really selfless teammates and risen to that challenge and accepted that role. And listen, if I was a two-way player, I'd absolutely love to swing a bat more than pitch. And each and every one of those guys has put a team-first attitude and said they need me as a bullpen piece, and this is what I'm going to work on. And it's just cool because the whole bundle of those guys, Cody's on, you name it, all up and down the team, they could have been pissed that they didn't pitch more last year. But instead, they approached their work this offseason with a chip on their shoulder, and that's the common theme that you keep hearing, like guys that have something to prove because nobody knows anything about us. No one knows what we've got. No one knows where our guys came from. And a number of guys that were even on the team last year are going to have great years for us, and that's the overall mindset of the team. So really proud of all those guys for their work because they deserved more opportunities last year, and we didn't need them.
Excited to see this season. Got me fired up. Jack Carlson on the call. I'll be excited all season long. And so couple of final thoughts from each of you. So Vince, we'll start with you. With this team starting conference play against Beloit, who was the conference champion a year ago, talk about what that's going to do to kind of prove yourself right off the bat, see an early test, barometer, if you will, of where you are, and then see the rest of the season how that goes.
I think we love that challenge, right? They're the defending champs. They steamrolled our conference last year. To be able to get the best right away and show the conference what we're made of is a great challenge for us. We're going to look like a really different team, and we want to show that on the field right away, open conference.
So, Coach, talk about the excitement from year one to year two. Obviously, year one, you're laying down the foundation. Year two, what excitement do you have for year two with the Rams?
I love our clubhouse, man. We have absolutely the right people in the building, and that goes from the boys all the way down to our student manager core. By the way, we added Kiana to our student manager core, standout Rams volleyball player, and she is electric.
Shout out.
And so that's a mistake that I made as a first-year head coach. We got the baseball thing right last year as far as what we were practicing, what we were getting better at. And I didn't necessarily emphasize as much how important the culture of our team would be. And we had 15 seniors, and most of them were our better players that had 3 years of doing things a certain way. So I love all of those guys, and I know that they gave me everything, and they trusted me 100%, and I'll always have a lot of love for them for that. But having a group now that is in year two of, it's different. I'm a different guy. I've got different things that I believe in, and it takes a little while. I didn't quite understand that. I thought it'd be easier. So having a group of guys, we've made some changes to the way the program's structured overall as far as managing a bigger roster, not taking as many players, things like that the guys that are here have gone through a lot, and they've gone through coaching changes. They've gone through COVID. They've gone through, and so having them in a spot where I know that everybody that's in that room has gone through a lot of things together, and seeing how close they are, there's no cliques within the team. It feels like they're all just pulling towards the same goal, and that's a testament to our leaders, man. As much as I would love to micromanage the culture of a team, I can't do that. And so we've just got really, really good leaders on the team, and I'm just super lucky to have those guys. So it's everything about it's easier. They know what I expect. I know what I'm going to get out of them, and we've just built more camaraderie, and that goes for me, but also for the boys. I walk across campus, and it could be the cafeteria, it could be the pizza shack, wherever. There's just a flock of them together. You go in the cafeteria, and you've got 60 of them sharing one table. It's pretty cool to see, and just really proud of them.
A true brotherhood, if you will.
Yeah.
So the Rams start this season March 2nd here in Mount Vernon. We do encourage you, if you're in the area, stop by Ash Park and cheer on the Rams for the 3-game series, 2 games Saturday and then 1 game Sunday. Then the Rams take off on their spring break trip before returning home. After 2 games at Beloit, they play the 3rd game in Mount Vernon near the end of March. So we do encourage you to follow along on CornellRams.com. I'll be on the call with the Rams live stream, or if you're in Mount Vernon, make sure to bring your pom-poms and bring your popcorn and everything and be loud and cheer on this exciting Rams team. All right, well, a special thank you to Coach Robbie Dombrowski and to junior left field captain Vince Zipperer for stopping by on this episode. Best of luck to you both and to the team this season.
Thank you, Jack. You're a blast, man. I know we're going to give you stuff to get excited about.
I can't wait for it. All right, my name is Jumpin' Jack Carlson, speaking on behalf of the Cornell Rams, saying make sure to stay tuned to the Cornell Rams social media platforms as to when episode 22 of the podcast will drop, most likely next week to preview softball on the Hilltop. All right, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.
Let's go Rams! Let's go